Your 4 minutes starts now.
Thank you. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's nice to do one of these on home turf for once. Today I'm presenting a solution for teachers of mathematics that saves time, helps focus teaching in class to the areas where it matters most, and it provides students with 24/7 access to individualised learning on PCs, smartphones and tablets. So the problem is that students work at different paces, and most of them have gaps in their knowledge in different areas. The knock-on effect is that students can fall behind, and that usually happens when a topic relies on earlier topics. So ConquerMaths is a unique solution, and it helps diagnose gaps in maths knowledge, suggests which lessons students can take in their own time to correct those problems, and then it retests students to build a rock-solid understanding. Now, teachers are provided with a lot of reports that help them to understand where best to focus their teaching in class. So students can move around the system freely, and at the beginning of each topic, students are given the option of taking a diagnostic test. So the diagnostic tests will ask students a number of randomly generated questions that also adapt to ability. At the end of the diagnostic test, it'll point out specific areas where students have weaknesses and which lessons they can take. So the ConquerMaths system covers the curriculum from reception through to A-level, and it presents it in short step-by-step animated and narrated lessons. They're straight to the point, clear and consistent. So I'm going to play a short section of that.
Now in this lesson we work on addition of fractions. Examples. Part A, 1/5 plus 2/5. Let's draw a diagram. We're dealing with fifths. Let's break up this whole into fifths. And we start with 1/5. Let's shade 1/5 in. And we're going to be adding 2/5. So let's shade in 2/5, a different colour. So to add 1/5 plus 2/5, all right, if we combine the two, we get the answer as being 3/5. Now let's have a look. We're dealing with fifths in the question, and the answer is also in fifths, very important. On the top, 1 plus 2 is 3.
Okay, so students can stop and rewind the teacher anytime they need to. So if you've got a student that needs to hear things several times over, they can do so at their leisure with ConquerMaths. So after each lesson, we try to make sure that everything made sense there. So with primary students, again, that is on-screen questions and answers. And for secondary students, we provide an optionally printable worksheet that we recommend students complete on paper and then fill in their results to the system. So we then store all of the results in each individual student's ongoing progress report, and this builds up over time to provide a very clear view for teachers where they should spend time with individuals or where to focus their teaching in class. And we're getting more and more teachers who are using ConquerMaths to set homework. It provides consistency and clarity throughout, and obviously a big advantage is that all the marking is done automatically for you. Yeah. Now, if you find that ConquerMaths doesn't align perfectly with your own teaching, you can jump into the curriculum designer, rearrange lessons, rename them, and essentially tie it in with your own scheme of work. Okay, so to help satisfy the need for additional reporting to parents, we do provide an optional parents area. So parents can have their own logins, they can set up weekly email reports, and that's a fully optional added extra. Last year we were Business and Industry Today's Company of the Year, and earlier this year we were the only maths company in the ICT tools for teaching and learning at the Better Awards. So thank you very much. If you want to know more, we're on stand 7.
Thank you. Rather a lot going on there for 4 minutes, but I think essentially a tool that can be used across junior and senior schools, used for special educational needs, can be used at home, can be accessed from home, can be used in the classroom, can be used in a whole class group or in smaller groups or in individual groups. The idea being mainly to be able to sort of monitor everybody and make sure they don't sort of get left behind, to put it very simply, and to be able to give them remedial work to do to catch up. You have to like Australians. We do talk about doing it's not an Australian version, but something with an English voice, don't you?
Yes.
But tell us a little bit about the cost of it.
Right. Well, ConquerMaths can be used by teachers as a classroom resource free of charge. Where students need individual access, the cost is £5 per student per year, and there is a cap on the cost for an individual school.
And that can be used at home, in school?
That's right, that can be used anywhere, at home, school, on PCs, tablets and smartphones.
So if the teacher is just using it in the classroom free of charge, the children can do the things and the teacher can monitor what they're doing?
That's correct.
But they can't use it at home?
They can use the diagnostic testing and a number of the lessons, but with the free program, the teachers get access to all of the lessons, but students have access to a limited number of resources.
Okay, so that's a good place to start, perhaps?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, fine. And do you have new developments coming up?
Yes, we've got about 150 new lessons for A-level coming along very shortly, and we have recently released an HTML5 version, which means that it will work natively on iPads, Android devices, and pretty much anything you want to throw at it.
Okay, that's interesting if they want to use it outside school and catch up with work and something like that. Matt?
Your diagnostic testing, does it relate back to national curriculum levels?
It does. We've got two separate curricula in the system. One is national curriculum level based, so in that one it will do. But obviously the government is talking about changing the way all of that works, so we also have a years-based curriculum as well in there. So we try to keep up with any changes that are occurring.
So coming back to like measuring impact and things like that, that's quite doable.
It certainly is, yeah.
Year on year.
It certainly is.
Steve?
No, it's good that you offer the free to teachers, so at least they can see if it works and see how it's for the pupils. Each of the videos, are they a minimum length or a maximum length?
On average, they're between about 3 and 5 minutes long, but there are a small number that deviate from that. There's a few about 1.5 minutes. I think that's about the shortest, and the longest is probability trees, which is 10 minutes. But other than that, usually 3 to 5 minutes.
That's good, thank you.
Would you like to ask any questions?
One of the things that's been when I was watching is it's a good resource for travel.
Cheers, thank you.
The only thing that I think is the flight path for different students by the end of school is going to be different. Which that's highlighting the gaps all the students to see gaps is creating a flight path so that in one particular student might not be expected to see.
There certainly is, yeah. You can do that in a couple of different ways, either by setting tasks where you create that specific path, or by using the curriculum designer, which will adjust the resources around it as well. So you can create essentially the process you would like students to follow.
I think you can step in and make things along the way, can't you, for individuals if you want to?
That's correct, yeah.
Any further questions? Thank you very much, Richard. And
Thank
I think
you.
it's well deserved coffee break. We'll see you back here at 11 with the ICT for Education debate, which will cover many of the things in much more detail and encourage you to join in some of the discussions that we've had this morning. Thank you very much indeed.